we always say that, the costume makes the character, and that is true. When I get done up in Rabbit's outfit, it's almost like I become her. Part of that hour-long process of putting on all the makeup and everything, I slowly become the character, and it becomes more real. And, yeah, like, the hat is a big part of that. Because when you put it on, it's just hard not to grab it like that, and suddenly, there's Rabbit. Do I even need this? I don't need headphones. I guess all I'm listening to is the own quality of my voice, which can be hard to hear, but yeah. See how loud I can get. So I want to do something a little different here. Now that I'm channeling Rabbit energy, we're gonna read Alice in Wonderland. All right. Hey, I could have read as Gigi. Would anyone else prefer that? Chapter 1. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. All right, let's try this. Greetings! Hello, I'm Rabbit the Robot, and I'm here today to read you a little story. Do you guys like Alice in Wonderland? I hope you do, because if you don't, well, you might get the heck out of here, because that's all we're going to be reading today. So, without any further ado, let us start with the first entry into our Rabbit reads Alice in Wonderland. Why am I surrounded by cats? Holy crap! This is terrifying. What are you guys doing to me? Oh, Wigster, thank you for the gift sub to Mel_Adams. I'm sure they appreciate that immensely. Okay, where were we? Right. Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. Wow, this is a long scroll to get down to the first chapter. It's quite a lot. Yeah, I'm still scrolling. I still haven't reached the... Here we go. Chapter 1. Down the rabbit hole. Hey, that's my hole! Alice was beginning to get very tired of sitting by her sister on the bank, and having nothing to do. Once or twice she had peeped into the book her sister was reading, but it had no pictures or conversations in it, and those are the most boring of books. Who has time to read these days? I gotta play some Counter-Strike. What is the use of a book, thought Alice, without pictures or conversation? So she was considering in her own mind, as well as she could, for the hot day made her feel very sleepy and stupid. You and me both, sister. I feel sleepy and stupid quite often, every day, exact. And I'm constantly hot because I'm powered by steam. Whether the pleasure of making a daisy chain would be worth the trouble of getting up and picking the daisies, when suddenly a white rabbit with pink eyes ran close by her. Making a daisy chain or chasing a rabbit? Both are too much effort. I'm not going to do either. There was nothing so very remarkable in that, nor did Alice think it so very much out of the way to hear the rabbit say to itself, "Oh dear! Oh damn! I shall be late!" When she thought it over afterwards, it occurred to her that she ought to have wondered at this, but at the time it all seemed quite natural. But when the rabbit actually took out a frickin' watch out of its waistcoat pocket and looked at it and then hurried on, Alice started to her feet, for it flashed across her mind that she had never before seen a rabbit with either a waistcoat pocket or a watch to take out of it. And burning with curiosity, she ran across the field after it, and fortunately was just in time to see it pop down into a large rabbit hole under the hedge. It was another moment downwind. Alice, after it, never once considering how in the world she was to get out again. The rabbit hole went straight out like a tunnel for some way and then dipped suddenly down. So suddenly that Alice had not a moment to think about stopping herself before she found herself falling down a deep well. Oh, I've been there, sister. I always fall into a deep well of depression. Either the well was very deep, or she fell very slowly, for she had plenty of time as she went down to look about her and wonder what the heck was going on. First she tried to look down and make out what she was coming to, but it was too dark to see anything. Then she looked at the sides of the well and noticed that they were filling with cupboards and bookshelves. Here and there she saw maps of pictures hanging upon pegs. She took down a jar from one of the shelves and passed it. It was labeled Orange Marmalade. But to her great disappointment, it was empty. Spine forgot to refill the jam, huh? That jackass. Where am I going to spread my... What am I going to spread on the walls if not orange marmalade? Mustard? Yeah, give me that mustard. I'm going to spread that on the walls. Yeah. Just going to spread all that mustard on the walls. They're going to be so proud of me. Spine's going to look at this and he's going to say,
"Oh, Rabbit, thank you for spreading all this mustard on the walls. Now I have something to do."
All right, then you're welcome, Spine. Here's a mop. Go get to it.
I'm going to mop the walls now. Weren't you reading about Alice in Wonderland?
Oh, that's right, Spine. You're such a great brother. Reminding me of everything. I'm going to kiss you on the cheek.
All right now, get back. I got to get back to work.
You get back to work, Spine. I'm going to read a story.
Oh, you do that. I'm going to keep mopping the wall like an idiot.
All right, now that Spine's doing that, let's see, where were we? She did not like to drop the jar for fear of killing somebody. Oh yeah, don't drop marmalade. You got to be cautious, especially when you're falling down an anti-gravity hole. She managed to put it into one of the cupboards, and she fell past it. Well, thought Alice to herself, after such a fall as this... Sorry. I want to do my Alice voice. Well, thought Alice to herself, after such a fall as this, I shall think nothing of tumbling downstairs. How brave they'll all think me at home. Why, I wouldn't say anything about it, even if I fell at the top of the house, which was very likely true. Down, down, down. Would the fall never come to an end? I wonder how many miles I've fallen by this time, she said aloud. I must be getting somewhere near the center of the earth. Let me see. That would be 4,000 miles down, I think. For you see, Alice had learned several things of this sort in her lessons in the schoolatorium, and though this was not a very good opportunity for showing off her knowledge, as there was no one to listen to, except you dear listeners, but she's not aware of you because this isn't one of those kind of books where they break the fourth wall. She was still good at, it was still good practice to say it over. Yes, that's about right. The right distance, but then I wonder, what latitude or longitude have I got to? Alice had no idea what latitude was or longitude either. But I thought they were nice and grand words to say. Presently, she began. Presently, she. Excuse me. Presently she began again. I wonder if I shall fall right through the earth. How funny it'll seem coming out on the other side. People walk with their heads downward. Wow, she's an idiot. Oh, sorry. The antipathies, I think. She was rather glad there was no one listening this time, as it didn't sound at all the right word. Please, ma'am, is this New Zealand or Australia? As she tried to curtsy, as she spoke fancy curtsying as you falling through the air. Do you think you could manage it? And what ignorant little girl she'll think me for asking. No, it'll never do to ask. Perhaps I shall see it written up somewhere. Down, down, down. There was nothing else to do, so Alice soon began to think and talk out loud. Dinah will miss me very much tonight, I should think. Dinah was the cat. I hope they'll remember her saucer of milk at tea time. Dinah loved the tea time milk saucer. Dinah, my dear, I wish you were down here with me. There are no mice in the air, I'm afraid, but you might catch a bat, and that is very like a mouse. You know? No. But you cats eat bats, I wonder. And here Alice began to get rather sleepy, and went on saying to herself in a dreamy sort of way, do cats eat bats? Do cats eat bats? And sometimes, do bats eat cats? Do bats eat cats? For you see, as she couldn't answer either question, it didn't matter much how she put it. She felt that she was dozing off, and had just begun to dream that she was walking hand in hand with Dinah, and saying to her very earnestly, now, Dinah, tell me the truth. Did you ever eat a bat? When suddenly, thump, thump, down she came with a heap of sticks and dry leaves, and the fall was over. Alice was a bit hurt. As she jumped up from her feet in a moment, she looked up, but it was all dark overhead. Before her was another long passage, and the white rabbit was still in sight, hurrying down. There was not a moment to be lost. Away went Alice like the wind, and was just in time to hear it say, as it turned the corner, "Oh, my ears and whiskers, how late it's getting!" She was close behind it, and she turned the corner, but the rabbit was no longer to be seen. She found herself in a long, low hall, which was lit up by a row of lamps hanging out from the roof. There were doors all around in the hall, but they were all locked, and when Alice had all been all the way down, but they were all locked, and when Alice had been all the way down one side and up the other, trying every door, she walked sadly down the middle, wondering how she was ever going to get out again. Suddenly, she came upon a little three-legged table, all made of solid glass. There was nothing on it except a tiny golden key, and Alice's first thought was that it might belong to one of the doors in the hall, but alas, either there were no locks, or they were too large, or the key was too small, but at any rate, it would not open any of them. However, on the second time around, she came upon a little curtain she had not noticed before, and behind it was a little door about 15 inches high. She tried the little golden key in the lock, and to her great delight, it fitted. Alice opened the door and found that it led to a small passage, not much longer than a rat hole. She knows a lot about rat holes. She knew, and she looked along the passage into the loveliest garden you ever saw. How she longed to get out of that dark hall and wander about these beds of bright flowers and those cool fountains, but she could not even get her head through the doorway. And even if my head would go through, thought poor Alice, it would be of little use without my shoulders. Oh, how I wish I could shut up like a telescope. Oh, I think I could, if only I knew how to begin. But you see, so many out-of-the-way things had happened lately that Alice began to think that a very few things were indeed really were impossible. There seemed to be no use in waiting by the little door, so she went back to the table, half hoping she might find another key in it, or at any rate, a book of rules for shutting people up like a telescope. This time she found a little bottle on it, which certainly was not here before, thought Alice. And around the neck of the bottle was a proper label, with the words,
"Drink me,"
beautifully printed on it with large letters. Oh, that's convenient. Yeah, kids, if ever you see a bottle on a shelf or a glass table, and it says "Drink me," you probably should drink it. Because that's just common sense. Someone went through the effort to put the label on it, so if you just want to guzzle that down, no, I'm just kidding. Don't drink random things that you find in weird rooms after you fall down a rabbit hole. That's just dumb. It was all very well to say, "Drink me," It was all very well to say, "Drink me," but the wise Alice was not going to do that in a hurry. Now I'll look first, she said, and see whether it's marked poison or not. Now that's using her noggin. For she had read several nice little histories about children who had got burnt and eaten up by wild beasts and other unpleasant things, all because they would not remember the simple rules their friends had taught them, such as that a red-hot poker would burn you if you hold it too long, and that if you cut your finger very deeply with a knife, it usually bleeds. And she had never forgotten about that. If you drink much from a bottle marked poison, it is almost certain to disagree with you, sooner or later. However, the bottle was not marked poison, so Alice ventured to taste it. Alice, how are we going to get through this book? Is Alice a dipshit or what? Like, reading through this, I'm like, what? Alice, you're dumb. You're going to die. How are you not dead? So Alice ventured to taste it, and finding it very nice, it had in fact a sort of mixed flavor of cherry tart, custard, pineapple, roast turkey, toffee, and hot buttered toast. That sounds awful, Alice. But then again, British people have no taste, huh? Oh gosh, oh god, the tomatoes. Oh jeez, ah. Oh god, damn it. Sorry, British people. You can unsub right up here, I think. I'm not sure. Where was I? What a curious feeling, said Alice. I must be shutting up like a telescope. And so it was indeed. She was now only 10 inches high. Boop! And her face brightened up at the thought that she was now the right size for going through the little door into that lovely garden or practicing vor, whichever came first. Oh, I guess the lovely little door into the garden. First, however, she waited for a few minutes to see if she was going to shrink any further. She felt a little nervous about this, for it might end, you know, said Alice to herself, in my going out together like a candle. I wonder what I should be like then. And she tried to fancy what the flame of a candle is like after the candle is blown out, for she could not remember having ever seen such a thing, and she suffered from a very, very aggressive case of ADHD. After a while, finding that nothing more happened, she decided on going into the gardens at once. But alas for poor Alice! When she got to the door, she found she had forgotten the little golden key, and when she went back to the table for it, she found she could not possibly reach it. She could see it quite plainly through the glass, and she tried her best to climb up one of the legs of the table. But it was too slippery. And when she had tired herself out with trying, the poor little thing sat down and cried. Come. There's no use crying like that, said Alice to herself, rather sharply. I advise you to leave off this minute. She generally gave herself very good advice, though she very seldom followed it. And sometimes she scolded herself so severely as to bring tears to her eyes. And once she remembered trying to box her own ears for having cheated herself in a game of croquet she was playing against herself. For this curious child was very fond of pretending to be two people. Sounds like someone we know. But it's no use now, thought poor Alice, to pretend to be two people. Why, there's hardly enough of me left to make one respectable person. Soon her eye fell on the little glass box that was lying under the table. She opened it and found it a very small cake on which the words, "Eat me," were written beautifully marked in currants. Well, I'll eat this, said Alice. And if it makes me grow larger, I can reach the key. And if it makes me grow smaller, I can creep under the door. So either way, I'll get into the garden, and I don't care which happens. Or you might die, Alice. She ate a little bit and said to herself, which way? Which way? Holding her hand on the top of her head to feel which way it was growing. And she was quite surprised to find that she remained the same size. To be sure, this generally happens when one eats cake. But Alice had got so much into the way of expecting nothing but out of the way things to happen that she seemed quite dull and stupid for life to go on in the common way. So she set to work, and very soon finished off the cake. Yum, 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 yum. No, I hate myself, but it tastes so good. Now describe what it tastes like, Alice. Describe what it tastes like, Alice. We must know. She doesn't describe what it tasted like. And that was chapter 1 of Alice in Wonderland. If you'd like chapter 2, well, you know, tell me that you like this, and maybe I'll be back. Well, we had some fun and we read some stories, and Rabbit came here with her ukulele, and we all had such a good time listening to Rabbit. Oh yeah, and he was great, and we all said, hey, Rabbit, you're the best, and we know you are our goddess, and we'll pray to you and make sacrifices on the altar. Or not. Just remember, don't drink or eat random things you're not aware they came from, even if those items are marked with labels that say, please eat me. Okay. Yeah, this is a leather hat. The worst decision I've ever made. Because it just bakes in all your heat on your head, and this is awful. It's such a cool looking hat, though. That's my performance hat. I don't know what the hell I was thinking.